your boy, your beat making producer, baby boy.
What?
Mr. Sonny Digital.
Oh,
one of my
that's my boy.
Yeah, that's my boy too.
That's my boy.
Yeah. he's a for those of y'all don't know, Mr. Sonny Digital is a producer. He has dropped some
artist.
He's an artist too. He's dropped some hot tracks.
Yeah.
I won't be surprised if he's behind some of your favorite songs. You know what I'm saying?
You won't even know.
Yeah, you probably won't even know. He actually recently was the producer behind the beats for the XXL Freshmen. Mm-hmm. And recently, I would say probably about a week or two ago, he came out and stated that there needs to be a producer union because a lot of producers are kind of getting fucked over in the fray. This is true.
It's very true.
It's very true. Just recently, I was reading an article about the guy who produced the "Pull Up with the Stick, Let It Hit," which is actually kind of a hot song.
Yeah.
It's a young producer who, you know what I'm saying, basically got talked out of making any residuals off the song and giving the exclusive rights up to it. He probably got a nice little check in the beginning, but not nowhere near as much as what the song's probably making right now. Because that's a hot song right now. Yeah. And he just kind of broke it down. And when I read that article, I think it was a DJ Booth article by the way. And when I read it, I was like, "Yo, this is messed up." You know what I'm saying? Not because of like what happened, but because there's a lot of people out there that don't really have knowledge on the game. He's a young guy. There's a lot of young producers out there that are popping.
Yeah.
And they don't really get any recognition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I'm all about producers.
Right.
I take that into consideration when I review shit. You
right.
know what I'm saying? Everything. Like, if I give a higher rating than people might think, it might actually be because I'm also giving credit to the producer because I did like the production. You know?
That's true.
And I can't just knock that out the way because they deserve the respect that they're trying to get.
Right.
And I've been looking at that since the beginning. I've stated it before on episodes where it was like the production was good and that's why I'm giving it this score.
Right.
You know, and he's touching on that, like I've been saying it myself, like producers all the time get the short end of the stick because their name isn't affiliated with when the artist comes out and it has the title of their track.
Right.
You don't usually see the produced by.
Right.
You don't see that, so people just, when they hear the track, they relate it to that artist.
To the artist, right.
They don't relate it to the producer.
To the producer.
And that might be the part of the track they like the most.
Right.
Is the beat, man. He got some dope ass beat, man. His beat is dope.
I mean, that's literally half of, sometimes 75% of what makes the song
hot,
what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a lot of it's the beat.
Right. So I agree with Sonny Digital on this.
Definitely.
And just recent, and let's be real, man, like the new young producer game, there's a lot of little producers out there, and a lot of them are making decent to dope ass beats.
Yeah.
All the time. You know what I'm saying? I literally watched a video on YouTube of a dude that took a bunch of people's ad-libs. He kind of, did some effects on the ad-libs and made beats out of everybody's ad-libs, like Travis Scott and all these, and he made a whole beat out of just ad-libs. You know what I'm saying? Like he turned somebody's vocals into a snare and somebody else's into, like a horn. Like he made these sounds out of people's vocals. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, this is dope. Like, we didn't really have, I mean, of course there were people that did that, like Timbaland did shit similar to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Before or whatever. But, like the youth, they're killing it right now when it comes to beats. Even if you don't like a lot of these rappers these days, you can't knock these beats.
That's what I'm saying. That, like, when I've reviewed someone, I'm like, I ain't really like the rap and I ain't like the artist, but I was like, but them beats went hard.
The beats went hard.
I love them beats.
But do we need a producer union
for them?
Right.
If I was a producer, I'd be saying yes.
Right.
I'm not a producer.
Right.
And I still say yes because I know I can listen to, I'd rather listen to an instrumental album, like just a album full of beats.
Right.
Well, that's interesting than some of these artists.
That's interesting that you say that because there are a lot more producers now that are putting out their own albums,
instrumental albums,
based around their beats, and maybe there's a couple little vocals in there, here and there, or whatever. But people like Knowledge or Flying Lotus, or you see a lot more of that happening now. You know what I'm saying? Which I think producers should do more of that because you're an artist in your own right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you may not play all these instruments. Some of them do play their instruments. You know what I'm saying? But you're actually building a sound
Mm-hmm.
The production is an art itself. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
So yeah, if you're a producer out there, I think you should definitely take that route. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And make your own shit, build your own name that way. Mm-hmm. That way you don't get stepped on. Another thing too that I see some of the producers doing, and I've actually stated this before, me being an artist myself, is that some producers should do projects with artists, do a whole project with an artist, and that will help build your name too.
Just one, yeah.
Right, because I know there's producers out there like let's be real, they'll have like 20 beats and they send the same 20 beats to every fucking body. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Which I get it. You want to get on, you want to get your shit popping or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody spit a line on it,
right? But what happens when you got 5 people that want the same beat or whatever? You know what I'm saying? And you cause issues with artists too. Mm-hmm. The same thing happens. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Another thing too. I have some. I don't want to say we shouldn't do a producer union, but I think too that producers got to also look at some of the artists. Yeah, there's some artists that blow up big off of these producers' beats. You know what I'm saying? But there's even more artists out there that they don't have enough money to buy a beat. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And some of these beats are fucking high as shit. And you gotta think about this as an artist, if you're trying to come up. You know what I'm saying? Of course all artists put on these fronts like they got all this money and shit. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta think about the things that you gotta pay for. Beat, you gotta pay for the studio time. You gotta pay for the video. You gotta pay for the models that's in the shit. You gotta pay for the artwork for the song. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of shit that goes on in there. So I think that if you're
paying a lot
of money, man. Not even that. You got the promotion and the marketing and then radio play and then PR. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit that goes on with the artist. You know what I'm saying?
Producers just need to come up with like a contract that they put out with artists.
They do. Some of them do.
Well, they should all do it, because if the ones that do it probably be like, we don't need a union because I know what I'm doing.
Right.
I'm handling the business behind it a little bit better than others that aren't, and are possibly the ones that are getting dicked.
Right.
Because there's no paperwork saying that I owe you money.
Right. I think too that there's some people that, you never know what song's gonna pop the fuck off.
Yeah, you don't know.
You don't know who. You can make a beat and then like
give it to someone random and just think
whatever. You know what I'm saying? So nobody, and then this motherfucker blows up off this shit.
That track.
You know what I'm saying?
Your beat.
Right. Yeah,
that hurts.
It does hurt, but it does hurt.
That hurts.
And you know what else hurts the most too is when people take the upfront money and don't think about the residuals afterwards. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Like, you gotta think about.
You gotta work that into the contract.
Right.
You gotta like if you were to make it with this track type shit, you know what I'm saying, with this instrumental, like I get residuals off of it, I guess a percentage, shit like that. Yeah, if the artist wants to beat that bad, they probably be down with it. You know what I'm saying? But
there's some people that don't really only come out the woodworks when someone makes a lot of money. There's been times where an artist, will get maybe a singer to do some vocals on the track. And they'll be like, yeah, I'll take $500. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. No. The song blows the fuck up and this motherfucker makes $10 million off the song. And now you feel like
500, like my 500 ain't nothing compared to what
I should at least got $1 million of that. Well, it doesn't work like that because you took the 500 up front.
And you already got it.
Yeah. It's like
they paid
you for whatever.
Theirs now.
Yeah. So,
you know what I'm saying?
You gotta think about those kind of things.
Yeah. If you want recognition from it, you put that in the fine print.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. When you're selling a beat type shit, That's how you gotta work that. You gotta work in business in behind that shit too. Kind of like the artists trying to work in business and deals with the labels and shit like that. My agent, my manager, we're working a deal out. Getting shit right because we're having problems with my album and our contract. Gotta do that shit as a producer too, because like you said, it's an art.
Right.
You're making music, not vocally. You're doing it with the music.
Right.
You're essentially needed for those vocals.
Right. I think that one thing that producers and artists should do is do more of the collaborations where this particular artist works with this particular producer just for this particular project. Split the money 50-50, you know what I'm saying? And go about it like that. I think that works for the artist, you know what I'm saying? And it works for the producer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You work with different artists, you get different sounds, you know what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. Yeah. Look at Metro Boomin, he's popping right now doing that.
It's all over. You
know what I'm saying?
On all types of mixtape, big artists, underground artists, everywhere.
Right. So, hey.
That's how you gotta work it, man.
You gotta work it.
You gotta get in. You gotta get in.
Maybe we'll get that producer union pretty soon. We'll see how it rolls.